Hello, and welcome back to Kim Reads as we continue with Pollyanna. Chapter 9, The Man. During her walks around town, Pollyanna often met the man. She thought of him as the man because he seemed rather special. He wore a black long coat and a high silk hat. He had very pale skin, and grayish hair stuck out from his hat. He stood very straight and walked fast, never looking around in any direction. What Pollyanna noticed most, however, was that, except for his dog, he was always alone. She felt sorry for him. "How do you do, sir?" she said to him one afternoon. "Isn't it a lovely day?" The man seemed startled. "Did you speak to me?" he asked. "Why, yes," smiled Pollyanna. He walked on in silence. The next day, when she saw him, Pollyanna called out, "It's not as lovely as yesterday, but still rather nice, don't you think?" The man grunted and walked on his way, but the third time that Pollyanna greeted him, he stopped short. "Listen here, child. Who are you, and why do you speak to me every day?" "I'm Pollyanna Whittier, and I thought you looked lonesome. I'm glad you stopped. Now we've met, only I don't know your name yet." Well, of all the," muttered the man, continuing to walk. It was raining the next time Pollyanna saw the man, but she greeted him with a bright smile. "It's so nice today, isn't it?" she called out to him. "I'm glad it doesn't always rain." The man didn't even grunt or turn his head this time. He quickened his stride, keeping his hands behind his back and shoulders very straight. Pollyanna decided that he hadn't heard her. The next day she spoke more loudly. Oh, I forgot to show you the pictures. "Hello," she chirped. "Aren't you glad it isn't yesterday? It's so lovely to see the sunshine again." The man stopped and spun around toward her with a scowl on his face. "Listen, little girl, let's settle something right now. I have other things on the weather to think about. I don't know whether the sun is shining or not." Pollyanna smiled brightly. "I didn't think you knew, sir. That's why I told you." "What?" The man frowned. "Why don't you find somebody your own age to talk to?" "I'd like to, sir, but there aren't many children around here. Still, it's all right. I like the old folks, too. I'm used to the Ladies' Aid." "So I remind you of the Ladies' Aid." "Indeed." Pollyanna laughed out loud. "Oh, no, sir. You don't look a bit like the Ladies' Aider. Besides, I'm sure you're nicer than you look." Well, of all the... The next time Pollyanna met the man, he stopped and said, "Good afternoon, Miss Whittier. Let me assure you that I know the sun is shining today." The man always said good morning or good afternoon to Pollyanna after this. Even after that brief greeting surprised Nancy, who was accompanying Pollyanna on her walk one day. "Sakes alive, Miss Pollyanna, did that man speak to you?" "Yes, he always does. Now." "Do you know who he is?" Pollyanna shook her head. She realized that the man never even told her his name. "But he never speaks to anyone," said Nancy, her eyes widening. "He's John Pendleton. He lives alone in the big house on Pendleton Hill. It's all very mysterious. He won't even hire a cook. He eats his meals at the hotel 3 times a day. I know a woman who waits on tables in the dining room there, and she told me that he always orders the cheapest things on the menu." "It's hard to pay for your food when you're poor," said Pollyanna. "Father and I usually ate beans and fish balls. We used to say we're glad we liked beans." "Does Mr. Pendleton like beans, Nancy?" "Who cares whether or not? Mr. Pendleton is the richest man in town. He could eat dollar bills if he wanted. He spends a lot of money traveling to foreign countries, too." "Well, he must give all his money to the church," Pollyanna said. "Maybe he's even a missionary." "Huh, said Nancy, but it sure is weird him speaking to you. Okay, that's the end of that chapter. See you later.